Hi friends. Today I wanted to change things up a little bit. I've had an idea bouncing around in my head for the last several weeks, maybe a month or so. That's kind of slowly been taking on a bigger and bigger importance for me. And I wanted to share it. And then afterwards, maybe choose a random tarot spread to see if maybe that doing a tarot reading can clarify it a little bit. But I wanted to talk first about an idea that popped into my head, and it's slowly been seeping its way into a lot of different subjects and places and things in my life. I had a thought a while back that we as humans who have a spiritual nature tend to look to a higher power to come in and help us when we need it, to be with us perhaps on a daily basis, but even if we believe that this spirit is within us, which many of us don't believe that, or don't understand or recognize that. Many of us believe that spirit is outside of us, and we ask them to come in and provide us with guidance, with protection, with assistance, whatever. But what occurred to me is that this notion is completely backwards. That we need the help of spirit. And let me explain what I mean by that. What I've come to realize is that our true nature, and some of you may already realize this, but our true being, not just part of us, and not just something that we can acquire, but our actual 100% authentic being is that of divinity. We are, at our core, sacred energy. And that's that. But something that I've thought about for years is that energy in its pure state can't really do any work. Energy in and of itself is a flow, and it exists, it has potential, but without being acted upon somehow, it can't really affect or change anything. So our purpose here on earth is to provide a means for that energy to have an effect. So the reason that I say that our asking spirit or the divine or God or whomever, whatever name you like to use, our asking that energy for help is completely bass backwards. We are that energy. We are that divinity. We are that sacred potential. That's where we come from. That's what we're made of. But in order for that energy to be able to do anything, we have to help it anchor here in this realm. So it's not us that needs divine assistance. It's the divine in us that needs earthly assistance. So the reason that we are here in this realm, in the material realm, is so that we can anchor this divine energy into a place where it can actually affect change. So the divinity needs our help. We don't need its help. We already are this divinity. We need to help it anchor here so that it can realize its full potential. And its full potential is unlimited. I'm sure you've all heard of manifesting. That's the divine potential. It is unlimited. All we have to do, we already have this potential within us. We just have to bring it here and anchor it here. And the way we do that is through our senses. But not just the 5 senses that we've been taught as children. Those, of course, come into play. But there's a lot more senses that are being recognized now. Many of us don't know about them, or at least they've not been named. But for instance, our imagination is a sense. It's our sense of inner vision. Our sense of moving through the world. It's called proprioception. Your sense of where your body is within space. That's also a sense. Pretty much anything that connects us to the physical realm is a sense. So there's a lot of things that come with that understanding. And some practices that are considered fairly mainstream, while they are helpful, I believe that they're misunderstood. And a very common one is the practice of clearing and protection. You'll see a lot of people, at least in metaphysical circles, ask, how do I clear a room, or how do I clear my crystals, or how do I clear this, that, and the other thing? How do the energy feels heavy, how do I clear it? And so you'll get all sorts of suggestions on how to clear energy or how to protect your space. Saging, sound clearing, setting an intention. There's a lot of different techniques. But if you think about it, all of those techniques engage our senses. So my belief recently is that we are not clearing negative energy from our space at all. We're not clearing away anything that we need to be protected from. We don't need protection. We're not clearing heavy, negative, low vibrational energy at all. We're doing the opposite of that. What we are doing is that by engaging the senses that we engage when we do clearing practices, especially with an intention behind it, which is one of our strongest senses, the sense of inner vision, when we engage in these processes, what we are actually doing rather than clearing away negative energy, is we are pulling in divinity. And the more senses you engage in your life, in your practices, the more divinity you pull in particular when there is an intention behind them, a positive intention to bring that sense of clarity, that sense of lightness, that sense of love in. That is pulling that divinity into this realm and anchoring it here so that it can work. So a lot of disciplines have various practices to clear. For instance, Reiki. After giving a Reiki session, we're often taught that you clear your body of any residual energies that may have stuck to you. But in effect, what I feel that we are doing is we are releasing the energy that we have brought down into this realm to whoever our client is, so that that energy can anchor within them to do the healing. So, in addition to that, there are so many ways that we can continue to anchor this divinity within this realm. Pretty much anything that you can do, any sort of movement. Dancing, of course, is a wonderful way. Speaking creates sound. It creates the feeling of, if you put your hand in front of your mouth when you speak, you feel the air. It creates a sense of movement within your jaw and your lungs, so you can feel that. Singing, exercising, participating in a sport, hugging someone, eating, especially eating clean, wonderful food, because that engages other senses. And I like to throw emotions in with the senses as well, because emotions definitely help to anchor this energy into this world. Emotions are, in my estimation, the perfect middleman between pure energy and the physical realm. Because while emotions are not physical in that we can hold them, like we can hold a ball or hold an apple, but when they land in your body, they land there very physically. You can feel them in your body. So they are, in my estimation, kind of a go-between between pure energy of divinity and material realm here in the earth. So, I know you've all heard in the Bible, as above, so below. Obviously, you're tarot fans, so the magician, also brings from above and from below to meet in the middle. Well, I believe that's what we're here to do. And I also believe that that is why so many of us feel that we have a stronger purpose, and why many of us feel called to a particular purpose. I mean, if our purpose was just to bring love and light, then we would all be healing practices, or we would all be teachers, or I don't know, or clergy, or whatever. But we all have a very different path that calls to us. Some people are dancers, some people are artists, some people lead other people, some people are teachers, some people are healthcare professionals, some people are parents. We all have these paths, specific paths that call to us. And the thing that those paths have is that they ignite in us a strong connection to some sense or senses that we are good at or that are important to us. And so, because there are so many senses that can help to anchor this divinity within us and within this world, it is absolutely imperative that whatever it is that calls to you, that gives you a sense of happiness, that gives you a sense of passion, that gives you a sense of accomplishment, it's imperative that you follow that sense. Because the stronger the senses that you can bring into your life in a positive way, the more anchored that divinity becomes in your life, and the more you are able to bring the infinite potential of divine energy here into this realm to do its helping work, to heal, to provide service, to make us all whole. So that's my thoughts on that. And I'm sure that there will be more to come, at least in my head, as time goes on. But it's kind of seemed like an important piece of info to me. So I wanted to just put it out there. So do with that whatever you would like. And I am going to choose a random tarot spread. Okay, we've got stages of change. And we will see how this goes along with my little lecture. Okay, and I have an interesting mix of tarot and oracle cards here. So we'll just see what calls out and do a little bit of a reading here. So the first position is, this is what I want. And I think that this is wonderful because this can help maybe to pinpoint maybe what your calling is, what your area to focus on is. So Spirit, could you please give us messages with regard to what we want? What do you want? What's important to you? Okay, we got the Seven of Swords. So what this is saying to me is that what you want is you want to have a legacy. You want to take something with you. You want to leave a legacy. You want to carry your weight. And you want to be important in this lifetime. You want to be important not in that you are recognized by others, but that you make a difference. You want to make a difference. You want to carry enough that you make a difference. So, Spirit, the second position. I don't like this, but it's the way it is. I'm going to use a different deck for maybe each position. I don't like this, but it's the way it is. Okay, we got the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, in this position, I don't like this, but it's the way it is saying that there are expectations placed upon all of us. And we are encouraged to do the things that make us look good in society. Whether that be bringing home a paycheck, or being a good leader, or having a family. There are things that we are encouraged to do, and sometimes that encouragement is super strong and really tough to break away from. But there are things that are encouraged for us to do that may not be our best path. We don't like that, but that's the way it is. Sometimes you have to go with that, at least for the time being. And that's just the way it is. So, the next card is, this is what you want. Hang on a minute here. We have this card. This is what we want. This is saying this is what A wants, like a partner wants. Okay, so this is what some significant other in your life wants. Okay, so we got the Three of Swords and we got the Nine of Cups. So, someone who is putting demands on you wants you to take care of their happiness for them. Yeah, they want you to be responsible for their happiness. And this is not something that can ever work. No matter how much you might want to, no matter how much you might try, and no matter how good you are at that, ultimately, in the confines of what I talked about to begin with, it has to be their senses that anchors their divinity into their world. So you can't do that for them. So, just be aware that there is someone close to you who is looking to you to fulfill their happiness. And that's ultimately going to lead to your unhappiness as well as theirs. So, okay, so the next position is, this is what someone else in your life wants of you, and this would be someone who is like maybe a next level, like children or your close circle of friends. Let's go with this deck. This is what your children or your close circle of friends want of you. Or someone in that same realm of relationship. Okay, we got the High Priestess for this one. High Priestess. So this group wants to learn from you, but not necessarily in a straightforward way. Not that you're going to specifically teach them how to do something, but by witnessing your journey by watching you, how you move through your life, this group is learning from you, and that's what they value. So the next card is, what does another group want from you? And this is a group that is kind of the next level. This would be like neighbors or co-workers. So what does this group want from you? What do they need of you? Okay, so this got us the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords. So this group is also looking to you for leadership. Yeah, this group is looking for you to lead them out of a difficult situation. This group trusts you. They believe in you, and they perhaps are not as strong as you are. So this group wants you to be a leader for them, and they will follow you. They're quite committed to following you because that's what they need of you. So the final position is, this is the best thing for everybody involved. Let's see, what deck do I want? Okay, I'm going to use this Oracle deck here. This is the best thing for everybody involved. The card we got is to be open to spiritual guidance. And it says, today's lesson, ponder this question. How do you expect your prayers and guidance to come to you? Literally, in a vision? Are you someone who says you're waiting for prayers to be answered because you want guidance that includes a safety net? Your goal is to own up to your spiritual insecurities and lack of faith. So, I'd say that's pretty much right on the money for what I talked about earlier and for what is best for everyone. Own up to your responsibility within the context of bringing the divinity here, anchoring it in your life, using all of your high vibrational senses. I guess I didn't expand on that enough earlier when I was talking. The senses that we want to use are the senses that bring us joy, that bring us happiness, that bring us just good feelings. So, it's not necessarily the senses of if you cut your finger and it hurts. But even in an experience like that, there is a higher message and a higher sense that we can take from that. And for instance, we have the ability to feel, and that's important, and that is a gift. But the way, let me put it this way, I believe the higher the feeling, the higher the sense, whatever it may be, the more it makes you feel happy. Happiness is huge. The more it makes you feel happy, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's moving, whether it's imagining something, whether it's writing, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whatever it is, the more that it makes you feel happy in your heart. And here's where the emotions come in. The more that it makes you feel higher emotions, the more it's going to pull that divinity in and hold it within you and anchor it into this world and let it reach out into this world and start to do its work. So, be open to spiritual guidance. You are that spiritual guidance. You are that spiritual being. That is what you are. That's it. That is what you are. You are this ball of potential. And it's being held in a physical form. And so anything that we do that is part of this physical form, even if that's thought, that's still part of this physical form. That's holding that divinity here. That's allowing that divinity to do its work. So that's what we want to do. So this was kind of fun, I thought, for me. I hope it was fun for you, or at least it was worthwhile. Thanks for listening, and I will see you again. Bye.